Congratulations. Can you put this into words, taking a fight in the UFC on a week's notice and winning like that? Does this feel real?
It feels manifested. It's exactly what we planned. It's exactly what we sought, and we've conquered. None of this was overwhelming. None of this seemed out of place. None of this seemed undeserved. The goal was never to enter the UFC, to win a fight in the UFC. The goal since day one has always been to own this organization. That's exactly what we're on our way to do. And this fight, just like any other, has always just been a stair-stepper. And so it feels like a huge accomplishment. It feels beautiful, and I'm going to share this moment so deeply with all my team and again all those people that invested in me, because this is so much bigger than just me. And we've been feeling that for a long time, but this just feels like a piece of that process.
Could you tell us what the circumstances were when you got the call? How long ago was it? What you were doing? Did you think twice?
No, I did not. Definitely did not think twice. It was last Thursday or Saturday, so not this prior Thursday, the Thursday before that. I was training for another fight, a little while from this one. And, we're always acting in camp mode. I'm never thinking about a single opponent in particular. And so, again, every day we approach every camp, we are always striving to be the most excellent version of myself and as my team, the most upward excellence that we can achieve. And so it's never about an opponent. Whenever we got this call to fight Darush, we immediately said yes. In fact, we didn't know who we were going to fight. It was just, there's a fight open in Vegas next Saturday. Do you want it? Absolutely. Messaged my manager, P.S., who are we fighting? And he said, Darush. I said, fantastic, let's take it. And I felt like this whole thing was lined up in the stars. And we keep saying it over and over again. I'm not a big hippie universal guy, but holy shit, I'm starting to feel like one, because there's something going on right here behind the scenes, and again, it just continues to manifest it, and I feel like I'm doing this for so much more and such a greater purpose than just myself. But with this call and this answer that now we have again manifested today is. I think it's all part of the plan. We're just going to keep growing in this business, and it's beautiful. But no, never thought twice about this opportunity. Jumped on as soon as I could, and we were ready for it. The weight was right, cardio was right, and we're always training again to be at this level.
What was the process like for you with the weight cut, with the short amount of time that you had? Like, how did you prepare that way?
Bill and I could have scientifically put together a better process than we have calculated on our team. It is down to a decimal point of how we cut weight, and that's something you have to pay for to learn. And so we do very well there. It was already in the books. I'm always healthy, always on point. So just losing that last bit of weight wasn't terrible. It was an excellent weight cut, the best one I've ever had.
Obviously that highlight reel type finish, but do you feel like that you really got to showcase a lot of what you're made of out there tonight? Or
I think it was a great statement. I think the showcase on a short notice fight against someone who was top 10 or top 15, wherever he's at in the UFC on an opening fight, and knocking him out in under a minute, I think that's an excellent statement. As far as showcasing skills, yeah, I think people keep getting beautiful snippets and highlights of what it's about and what we bring to the table. But over time they'll continue to unfold. A lot of people still look at me as a one-dimensional wrestler, and I love that. Oh, I love hearing that. We enter every facet to be the absolute best at it, and each opponent brings something different, and we just react. And once that first combination lands, we figure out how the fight's going to organically unfold, whether it be on the feet or on the ground, and we dismantle. And so it was a great highlight tonight, and I think we'll continue to showcase more talents as we progress.
I know Dave, you usually get one time to kind of show one special trick move, the opening, coming out, going for the handshake, but then throwing the kick. Was that the plan?
Truthfully, I wasn't trying to reach for his hand and fake out a handshake. I just keep a long reach on my hands, and so I knew that we simulated this start over and over again. I was with a coach when we got this fight call. I don't like to spend too much time watching anybody, and that stands the same for Darush, especially on a short notice fight. You don't want to overanalyze anything, and so we saw his cadence and the way he likes to approach, and he likes to stalk, and he likes to take the center, and then he likes to control people against the ring. So we knew that if I rushed him, very strong teeps and press, strong teeps and forward press kicks, and so I knew if I could beat him to his side, set the tempo, hit his belly, I knew it was soft, and I knew that I could ruin his cadence upon landing that first shot. At which point then we'd start to cut the angles, we start to get to the outside of that power hand that he has, the power kick that he has, and start to be dynamic and unfold exactly like I've been saying it's going to unfold for the last week. I didn't think it was going to go in the second round, and it did. So that's awesome.
You seem to be a very confident young man. Have you always been this way?
It comes and goes. You know, I've had moments. If I'm being completely honest, you know, I've always been confident. My coach is not in because I talk a lot of shit. You know, I have been confident for quite some time, but you know, it was a process to get to where I am right now, and it was in my personal life and in this professional life. I've had another professional life, and I've gone through a lot of adversity, taken a lot of obstacles, and had to become a hell of a man in a multitude of ways to be where I'm at now and have this level of confidence. So it's a process. It hasn't always quite been where it's at now, and I think, again, as far as taking this challenge on a short notice and facing the opponent we had to face, everything just came to fruition at the perfect time for me to be where I'm at right now.
What was your other professional life?
As a loan officer, mortgage loans, and I did a hell of a job at that too. So I used to do that, and I had a quarter-life crisis and decided, you know, I need to shit or get off the pot, and if I'm going to do this, I need to do it all the way. And I've always trained, you know, I'm still putting in 3 or 4 hours in the gym, but sleep's cutting out, recovery's cutting out. We're not doing all the things we need to do to be at this level. And so when that happened, I was like, man, I got to stop doing this. And so I've always gone back and forth in my head about that. It's caused me a lot of grief, and so I decided I got to chase this dream. I've got a small, finite window to seize this opportunity, and I'll be damned if I don't. And so I quit my job. I jumped into this. 3.5 months later, this call came, and got the money.
So this is validation. You probably don't have to grieve about that anymore.
Yeah, no more grieving. No. The second I quit, I knew I made the right choice. I knew this was for me, and like I said, I've been training in this game and putting so much mental energy into this for so long, and now that I have the time to recover properly, sleep properly, and do all the extra milestones that a lot of these cats, being here this week and everybody looking at me like, who the heck is this guy? You know, I'm realizing, you know, we've been on this level and above for a long time. And so now we just have a little bit more free time and freedom to grow exponentially. And so yeah, this is everything's lined up beautifully. I could have written it any better.
I just said one more if I could.
Yes, sir.
You said that you were doing this for something greater. What do you mean by that?
Every single person who's ever invested in my team, Ohana Academy, all of South Texas, my coaches, everyone who's ever believed in me, everyone who's ever had a dream and has been torn to take that step off the ledge and just fucking go for it. Those people, everyone. I mean, I have so many people who put their hand on my shoulder, and so many people that I plan to carry to the top, and so many people that have believed in me. And so whenever I go in there and fight, it's bigger than me. I'm trying to represent something more. And so that's what I feel like was the beginning of what we culminated tonight.
After such a short notice type fight, like how long would you want to wait before you got back in there?
There's no half times. Again, everything's on point all the time, and so I'm probably gonna drink like an asshole tonight. I heard that. but afterwards, you know, we're back to the books. I'm gonna fly to LA in 2 weeks. I have a camp lined up, and we're getting to the grindstone. Now we have far more doors opened up. That institute's amazing, so we'll be taking full advantage of that, and the grind continues. I'd like a little bit to get acclimated and get my toes in the UFC, but whatever they have, we can answer.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
All right,
Absolutely.
thank you,
Thank you, guys.
guys.